Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Deep True Crime. I'm Manny Rodriguez. In today's episode, we are covering the young teenage girl who was found in the park stabbed to death. Two other teenagers have since been arrested. And so we're going to be diving into this British TikToker who was found stabbed to death in a village park in broad daylight of last week. Now, two teenagers have been arrested following this crime. Let's go ahead and dive into what we know at this time. A 16-year-old transgender British TikToker was found stabbed to death in a village park in broad daylight last Saturday, February 11th, 2023. Now, two teenagers have been arrested in this crime. Brianna Ghey, who was found in this park, she has thousands of followers on the social media platform TikTok, and she was discovered by passersby suffering from multiple stab wounds at Linear Park in Warrington, Cheshire, around 3 p.m. local time there on Saturday. Now, police detectives said they have found no evidence that Ghey's killing was a hate crime related to her being a transgender girl. The investigation has led to the arrest of a boy and a girl, both 15, who are facing murder charges. And police said that the suspects, who have not been named, are from the Warrington area, and they are in custody, and they are said to have known the girl as well. And so, little by little, we're going to continue finding out all about this, right? Detective Chief Superintendent Mike Evans said Ghey's killing was believed to be a targeted attack, but police were still trying to determine what led to that attack. And he says, at this time, there is no evidence to suggest that the circumstances surrounding Brianna's death are hate related. That's what he shared. He also continues, patrols have been stepped up in the local area and officers will remain in Colchester, our area, to provide a reassurance and address any concerns that residents may have. And he is appealing to anyone with any information on this case. He says, no matter how big or small, come forward. He also says, we are also keen for people and businesses within the local community to check any CCTV or dash cam footage for anything that may aid our investigation. In a statement that was released to the media, Ghey's family members said her ultimate death has left a massive hole in their lives. They say Brianna was a much-loved daughter, granddaughter, and baby sister. That's what the statement had shared. She was a larger-than-life character who would leave a lasting impression on all that met her. Brianna was a beautiful, witty, and hilarious. Brianna was strong, fearless, and one of a kind. Now, one of the head teachers at Birchwood Community High School, where Ghey was a student, Emma Mills, she said, we are shocked and truly devastated to hear of the death of Brianna. See, Brianna was found badly injured in Cheshire Parkland as police are urging any witnesses to come forward. She was found with severe injuries in a park in Cheshire, and police are saying, please, if you got any dash cam footage, if you have any CCTV footage, please share what you see. Emergency services, including Cheshire Police, they were called to Colchester Linear Park in Warrington, Cheshire at 3:13 on Saturday, February 11th. The girl, she was pronounced dead at the scene. Her next of kin, they were informed, but formal identification at that time did not take place, so they didn't really know much about Brianna at that time. And so the scene, which was in a place at the park, and inquiries are continuing to establish the circumstances surrounding her death. You see, that's where it's like it becomes completely heartbroken when something like this happens by all stretches of the imagination, right? Detective Chief Inspector Adam Waller, he said, "I understand the concerns that this incident is likely to cause, and I am aware that there are rumors circulating online. However, I would urge people not to speculate." He says, "We're following numerous lines of inquiry to establish what led to the victim's death, and local residents will see an increased presence of police officers in the area while we investigate this incident. At this stage, we do not believe there is a wider threat to anyone else. However, if you have concerns, please do speak to a local officer." And he says, "As part of our investigation, I am keen to hear from anyone who believes they may have witnessed the incident or seen anything unusual at Colchester Linear Park at around 3 p.m. that Saturday, February 11th. They're trying to find any connections to this. And he's urging anyone with any information, no matter how small or big, get in touch. And so local residents, they reported large number of emergency workers in the area, including a helicopter and armed forces. Now, Warrington North MP Charlotte Nichols, she has urged anyone with information to come forward. And they're doing everything they can to put this case to rest, to find peace for the family. And truth is, they're not going to find peace. It's hard, right? The heartbroken family of the transgender girl, Brianna Ghey, who was stabbed to death in Warrington Park, they said today the tragedy had left a massive hole in their lives. And there was a tribute from grieving relatives, she said she had been strong, fearless, and one of a kind. Now, officers, as I've shared, they have arrested a local boy and girl, both 15 years old, on suspicion of murder. They are currently in custody. They are said to have been assisting police with their investigation. Police say they do not believe that this is a hate crime or related to the fact Brianna was transgender. Brianna's family said Brianna was a much-loved daughter, granddaughter, and baby sister. They are heartbroken. And they say, "We would like to thank everyone for their kind words and support during this extremely difficult time." And you can see her. She was a TikToker. This was one of the videos that she last had done. And she was even saying this was her last try. You know, she was so young, didn't deserve what happened to her. Rest in peace. Someone wrote that actually. But her last video was more of a, we're going to give it a shot, right? This is the park, Colchester Linear Park, that she was found in. And, you know, this is heartbreaking, obviously, right? And so she was well known as a TikToker, teenage Britain girl. And this is one of her last videos. You can see, I'm not going to play the video itself, but here's a still image of that video. You can see her video at Ginger Puppy X. Ginger's probably for her red hair, because they call a lot of redheads ginger. I never understood that really, but it is well known. And so the family, they're asking, "We would like to thank the police for their support and witnesses for helping with the investigation, and the continuing of respect for privacy is greatly appreciated." Brianna, she lived with her mother Esther in a modern terraced house in Warrington in the UK. Her mother, who is thought to be split up with her father, she is believed to work in food technology, which she studied at a university. Now, Brianna's final TikTok video shows what appears to be a typical teenager enjoying social media, with one post apparently filmed in the same park where the attack took place. And this is the video still that you're seeing, that it was in the park. In an earlier video, Brianna, 16, can be seen talking to the camera wearing a pair of glasses. Now, officers, they did arrest a local boy and girl who were both said to know Brianna. They're in custody at this moment, but we're still waiting to find out a lot more. Police say that the victim of a targeted attack in the beauty spot on the site of an old railway. Now, police and paramedics, they were called to Linear Park in Colchester, an affluent village near Warrington, Cheshire, on Saturday, February 11th, that afternoon, following the discovery of the teenager's body on a path. And again, at the scene, she was pronounced dead. Her friends, they paid tribute to the teenager on social media. Rest in peace. You deserve the world. This is so devastating for everyone. This is heartbreaking, another person said. In one tribute, Brianna, who was born male but is believed to have been living as a female for a number of months, was hailed for her strength, beauty, and transparency. Rest in peace, darling. That's what the tribute had said. Forever a beauty and forever in our hearts. Nothing will ever change that. I'm just proud of you for consistently keeping on. You're so strong. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for being so transparent with us. That was what another person tributed. A gymnastics coach who worked with Brianna when she was younger told the Liverpool Echo she used to come into the gym and to school and do gymnastics with us. She was a lovely kid. Brianna was found dead by members of the public on Saturday. They just came upon her as they were in the park. Police have said it was too early to say what she was doing in the area at the time, but described her murder as targeted attack on a busy day at the park. A number of inquiries in relation to the incident are underway, and we are doing all that we can to establish the exact circumstances of what has happened. That is what Detective Chief Superintendent Mike Evans shared. At this time, there is no evidence to suggest that the circumstances surrounding Brianna's death are hate-related. Patrols have been stepped up in the local area, and officers will remain in the Colchester area to provide reassurance and address any concerns that residents may have. And this is where it's hard to understand why something like this would happen to this 16-year-old girl. Now, Emma Fortune said Brianna and her mother had been customers at the opticians where she works since she joined the business 7 years ago. Miss Fortune said, I last saw them last year. Brianna looked gorgeous with her hair down and her makeup. Her little face lit up when I told her how beautiful she looked. When I found out she'd been killed, it was awful. I was so upset. Her mom will be devastated. She added that the teenager was a very quiet person, probably because of what she was going through, but had never mentioned being bullied. A playlist apparently posted to YouTube by the teenager was entitled Songs That Heal My Traumas. Now, a spokesman for Cheshire Constabulary said there was no evidence that the murder was a hate crime, but added that detectives were keeping an open mind about whether Brianna's gender orientation was relevant to their inquiries. Villagers said the force flooded the area with patrol cars following the discovery of Brianna's body, with a police helicopter also deployed. A number of police vehicles remained at the park as forensic work continued. Now, this is an ongoing investigation. And One of the Cheshire Constabularies, DCS Evans, said officers were keen to speak to a couple wearing long clothing seen very close to the location of this truly awful attack. And they said that the white man and woman were in their late teens, early 20s, both with dark curly hair. He added the man was wearing a long, dark hooded coat, and the woman had a distinctive red or purple black checkered blanket style coat and a long flowing skirt. Now, that was before an arrest was made of the two teenagers, I believe. And so those were the first ones that they were actually looking into, but they're wanting to find anyone who has any answers to this horrible thing. And so they were looking to speak to that couple that was wearing long clothing that were seen very close to the location of the attack. And it was a white man and woman. Maybe they have maybe they saw something, right? Maybe they were in the area and they saw something, who the girl was with. And so they're looking to speak to them. And they also said that we're also keen to speak to anyone who was in the park from around 1:30 p.m. until 4 p.m. that Saturday, or anyone who may have seen Brianna in the hours leading up to her death. We would ask people and businesses within the local community to check any CCTV or dash cam footage for anything that may aid our investigation. During initial searches of the village on Saturday, officers asked locals if they had seen a man wearing a green coat. One woman, who did not want to be named, said she heard that officers were looking for a man before the news of the death had emerged. She said people were saying that police were searching for a man. Apparently, officers were asking people in the park yesterday, that Saturday, should I say, if they'd seen a man in a green jacket. They were also telling them to get out of the park. I heard later that a girl had been stabbed. And so before this even came out, people were talking about it. The park, another villager said that the park is very popular and is used by dog walkers, cyclists, and horse riders. It's an old railway track with one main path that branches off further down. And it is said that she was found near the railway track. Kids sometimes go down of a night with bottles of alcohol, but this is a quiet area normally, so it's a bit of a shock this has happened. When asked about the man in the green jacket, Mr. Evans said the force remained interested in speaking to anyone who may have been in the area at the time and may have information to assist their investigation. That's why they're trying to get a hold of that man and woman to see, what did you possibly see? And that's where it's like, that's as much as we know in reference to, they're trying to find anyone who can find anything, but they say there is no evidence that this was a hate crime after she was stabbed in the park. And so they're saying that there is no evidence that the transgender girl, Brianna Ghey, was stabbed to death and that she was a victim of a hate crime. Now, they did arrest a boy and girl who were 15 years old, and they're just trying to keep everyone calm outside of this. But according to them, this was not a hate crime. So we don't know. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot more there. Now, again, 2 teenagers have been arrested. That's all we know at this time. And, they're asking for any help in any information that can lead to this. And of course, people are heartbroken. People are heartbroken because friends of Brianna Ghey revealed that she was bullied and attacked for years for the simple reason of being trans. And they have had a fundraiser. They still have a fundraiser, a GoFundMe page that has almost had 70,000 pounds. And I mean, they literally did 50,000 pounds in like just a few hours. But they say that Brianna was bullied for years because of her gender identity. The 16-year-old who was found stabbed to death in the Warrington Park just days after she posted a TikTok video revealing she had been excluded from school. Now, more than £70,000 has been donated to a fundraising page established in memory of Brianna, who is described as someone who's brought a lot of laughter and love to them. And to give you an idea, I love when efforts like this happen, where they are trying to get behind and support wherever they can. I think that this is truly a special thing. But this is the GoFundMe page for Brianna Ghey. You can look up Brianna Ghey GoFundMe. Just make sure you see this picture, and you can see they had a goal of £4,200. They have gotten so much support behind this, almost 5,000 donations, and they have raised over £72,000. If you want to contribute, you can Google Brianna Ghey, spell it Ghey for her last name, and type GoFundMe after that. And this is from Victoria Potter and Jacob Potter, who are organizing this, so make sure that you find the right one. You know how many scams can be out there. We would like to help the Ghey family, who had their beautiful daughter cruelly taken from them in the most shocking and heartbreaking way. Brianna was an outgoing, confident girl. She brought a lot of laughter to those who knew her. She was looking forward to taking her exams this year and beginning her journey into the adult world. And they set this page up to help the family at this truly devastating time. And they're asking for your support to help with funeral costs. As you know, GoFundMe takes like half of this or something like that, or 40% of this. So every dollar counts. This was only created one day ago, and you can see all the contributions for her, because a lot of people are heartbroken. This should not happen. And they share that the funds will be used to cover funeral expenses and support her family, who say the death of strong, fearless, and kind Brianna has left a massive hole in their hearts. Now, if you have it in you to support, please do. One friend told The Sun, which is another tabloid, that those aware of the bullying refused to intervene. Mail Online, they contacted the school and police for comment, but of course, no one has replied yet. And the reports of alleged bullying came after the teen, who had amassed a large social media following, claimed she got excluded from school. In a video on her now deleted TikTok account, Brianna, wearing her school uniform, announced the exclusion. That's part of the video, the piece that you saw here, where she was in her school uniform. And Emma Mills, the head teacher at the school, as I shared, she was shocked and truly devastated. And she is, to her, this is very difficult, distressing time for many. And we will do our utmost to support our pupils and wider school community. That's what Miss Mills has shared, because she believed this girl had so much of a bright future, was a wonderful person, and she's devastated by this. And detectives, they're urging that everyone stay calm, even though there's fears among the LGBT community that the attack was motivated by transphobia. One concerned person commented, honestly terrified of getting murdered for simply daring to be who I am. Now, Detective Chief Superintendent Mike Evans has said that inquiries into Brianna's death, they're underway, and they're doing all that they can to establish the exact circumstances of what happened. And they say there's no evidence to suggest that the circumstances are hate related. But they are at the same time stepping up the police patrol in the local area, and officers will remain in the Colchester area to provide reassurance and address any concerns, as I shared earlier. And they're appealing for any CCTV footage on anything around there. But again, a boy and a girl, both 15 years old, have been arrested by the police who are investigating this crime. Of course, we're not going to show you pictures. We don't have pictures. They are still teenagers. And this girl, she was the transgender girl, she was described as beautiful and strong. And many do believe that the victim was targeted, literally targeted in this crime. Now, officers, they have arrested a local boy and a local girl, both of them 15 years old. They have been arrested on suspicion of murder. And they're currently in custody assisting police with their investigation, as I shared earlier. And, you know, I have to say, for a 15-year-old boy and girl to be arrested for this tells me there's something to this. What and why they would have done that, we have no clue. Why anyone does some of these things, right? We don't really know. At the end of the day, my friends, I just want to be a voice for the victims, because they can't be the voice themselves. And especially in a heartbreaking case like this, I'm not here to judge a person on how they live their life. That is not for me to decide. That's between them and God. But I am here to be a voice for some senseless attack on victims who are taken from this world way too soon. Police say this is not a hate crime. But if it was done over the fact that she was transgender, that is a hate crime. But we don't know. If these 15-year-old boy and girl are helping in this investigation, who is arrested on suspicion of murder, so them helping means we're going to give you all the information. So whatever information they've received so far from the 15-year-olds, it must lead them to believe this is not a hate crime. This was not done because she was a transgender girl. But we don't know. We don't know the motive. If that's not the motive, we don't know what the motive is at this time. Fair statement? My friends, at the end of the day, I just want to be a voice for these victims, especially like Brianna Ghey, taken from this world way too soon. My friends, if this is the type of story you like to follow, please hit that subscribe button. My goal is to keep you updated on what could go wrong in this crazy world we live in. Sometimes we choose to live our life the way we choose to, and other people don't like it. Right? A lot of us. It does not matter what world you live in. I bet you there's someone that disagrees with you. Maybe you're happy all the time. There's someone that disagrees with you. Maybe you're angry all the time. There's someone that disagrees with you. Maybe you smile all the time. There's someone that disagrees with that. That's the world we live in. But when it leads to crime, that is when it's taken way too far. My friends, I just want to keep you updated on what could go wrong in this crazy world we live in. So please, if you have any requests on any particular stories, let me know in the comments, and I would be glad to do my best to cover that. Until next time, my friends, be careful, be safe, be wise. Peace. Have a great day.